Good afternoon students. I am Dr. Anshita Gupta Soni and I am back with my next video on evaluation parameter for buccal dosage forms. It is the successive part of our previously discussed videos on buccal dosage forms. Please like, share and subscribe our channel for more informative video. Let's start our video. Students, as you all know that evaluation parameter are the utmost important thing in dosage form designs. So when it comes to buccal dosage forms, the evaluation parameters, we can broadly classify them on the basis of two things. First is on the basis of polymer that has been used, and second is the type of formulation that we have prepared. Dear students, when we talk about assessment or evaluation of polymers, the most important thing is mucoadhesion. So in vitro assessment of mucoadhesion is very important for the evaluation of polymer that we are using. So they are analyzed on the basis of adhesion strength, on the basis of shear strength, and bioadhesion test is also done using non-biological substances. When we talk about adhesion strength, it is the force required to break adhesive bond between model membrane and test adhesive. And we also use a formula to analyze the force of adhesion. Then when it comes to shear strength, it is a force that causes bioadhesive to slide with respect to mucus layer in a directional parallel to their plane of contact. Again, shear strength is also related to adhesion strength. And bioadhesion is the force for separation measured as a quantitative expression. So these three parameters are important while assessing the mucoadhesion property of a polymer. So students, coming to the methods, different parameters that we use to analyze the property of mucoadhesion. First is in situ method. In situ method, we analyze the bioadhesive potential of polymers, and in this we use glass spheres or drug crystals which are first coated with the polymer to be tested, and later on the known amount of these coated particles are placed on rat jejunum or stomach, and the percent of particles that retain on the tissue is considered as the index of bioadhesion. Then comes next method is flow channel method. Flow channel method is used through a thin channel filled with bovine submaxillary mucin. Okay, and a particle of bioadhesive polymer is placed on the mucin gel and its static and dynamic behavior is monitored. Third is falling liquid film method. In this method, small intestinal segment from the rat were placed at an installation on a Tyson tube fluid, and then the adhesion of particles to this surface is monitored by passing a particle suspension over this surface. So these are the three methods by which we can access the mucoadhesion property or bioadhesion property of the polymers. Let's discuss some more methods. Next method is colloidal gold staining method. This technique utilizes red colloidal gold particles that have been stabilized by an absorbed mucin molecule, which is mucin gold conjugate. Bioadhesive hydrogels develop a red color on the surface upon interaction with the mucus. So hydrogels which are having bioadhesive property can be easily evaluated using colloidal gold staining method. Next method comes viscometric method. In this method, porous-in gastric mucin dispersion is used in different polymer solution. The mucin polymer bioadhesive bond strength is then quantified and the force of adhesion is calculated. Next method is fluorescent probe method. This method is used to study polymer interaction with the conjunctival epithelial cell membrane. Then comes thumb test. A simple way that can be used to identify mucoadhesive is the difficulty of pulling the thumb from the adhesive as a function of pressure and contact time. This is the simplest test to analyze the force of bioadhesion. Students, see, this is a diagram of the evaluation parameter that we use to analyze the mucoadhesion force, and here mucoadhesive mucosal tissue is there, which is stick to a slide and then it is washed off with the irrigation media. This mucoadhesive mucosal tissue is previously painted or coated with the polymer. After washing off, it is analyzed under fluorescent imaging, and you can see the extent of fluorescent imaging of mucosal tissue, and the colorimetric assay of wash off can also be analyzed with respect to time to understand the mucoadhesion property of polymer. Next technique comes organ culture technique. In this study, an organ culture is used to maintain hamster cheek pouch mucosa submerged on a stainless steel grid in growth medium. Then small quantity of adhesive gels are syringed into the mucosal surface, and the duration of adhesion is accessed by the retention to the gel. Next method comes the ligand receptor binding method. In this method, lectin receptor present on the oral mucosal surface are determined, which can be utilized to access lectin mucoadhesive property. The binding of lectin to mucosal surface by using a solution containing a range of lectin exposed to the surface of unprocessed oral mucosal cell is done. Through this, the quantification of the mucin and polymer can be achieved. Dear students, till here we were discussing the mucoadhesion property of the polymer. Now we will access the evaluation parameter for the formulation that we have prepared. So here we will be discussing the evaluation parameter for patch, buccal patch or buccal film. First comes the surface pH study. The surface pH study is determined in order to investigate the possibility of any side effect in vivo. As an acidic or alkaline pH may cause irritation to the buccal mucosa, it is determined to keep the surface pH as close as to neutral. Okay, so a combined glass electrode is used for this purpose, and the buccal patch is allowed to swell by keeping it in contact with 1 ml of distilled water for 1 hour at room temperature. The pH is measured by bringing the electrode in contact with the surface of the patch and allowing it to equilibrate for 1 minute. And this experiment is performed in triplicate and average values are taken. Dear students, the next evaluation parameter is the content uniformity. It is an important parameter and it is determined by dissolving the buccal patch from each batch of prepared formulation and homogenizing it in 100 ml of phosphate buffer, that is pH 6.8 for 6 hours under occasional shaking. The 5 ml solution is taken and diluted with phosphate buffer up to 20 ml, and the resulting solution is filtered through a 0.45 μm syringe filter. The whole content is then determined after proper dilution at 274 nm using a UV spectrophotometer. This is the method by which we identify the content uniformity of the buccal patch or the buccal film. Folding endurance is also an important parameter, but it is done for optimized patches only, and it is the parameter in which number of times a patch is folded, and it is folded till the patch breaks. And as I already told you that this test is done only on optimized patches. So student, the next important parameter is the swelling index parameter. In swelling index, we used to analyze the increase in the weight of the buccal patch once it is dipped in a petri dish of 10 ml phosphate buffer at a pH 6.8. Why we are using 6.8 pH? Because the pH of the saliva is 6.8. So we analyze the buccal patch after dipping it in phosphate buffer for a duration of 5 hours, and thereafter we used to weigh it, and we calculate the difference of the weight, and the weight increase due to absorption of water of the patch. This is the formula that we use to analyze the weight difference. Next evaluation parameter comes determination of in vitro residence time. The in vitro residence time is determined using a USP disintegration apparatus, and the disintegration medium is composed of 800 ml of pH 6.8 phosphate buffer maintained at 37 degree plus minus 0.5 degree Celsius. A gauze buccal mucosa of 3 cm length is glued on the surface of a glass slab and vertically attached to the apparatus. The glass slab is vertically fixed to the apparatus and allowed to move up and down so that the patch is completely immersed in the buffer solution at the lowest point and is out at the highest point. The time necessary for complete erosion or detachment of the patch of each batch from the mucosal surface is required. Now students, a question may come in our mind that what are the different animals that we can utilize for studying mucosal permeation or retention techniques. So generally animal models that we use are dogs, rabbits and pigs, and porcine buccal mucosa and rabbit buccal mucosa are mostly used. They are used because they have a resemblance to the oral mucosa of human beings in both ultrastructure and enzyme activity, which represent the physical and metabolic barriers of the oral mucosa. Dear students, now question may come again that what is the technique by which we can perform in vitro mucosal permeation technique. So basically we use two types of diffusion chambers or permeability chambers that are horizontal type and vertical type. Under the category of horizontal comes using type, and under the category of vertical comes French diffusion cell. And diffusion cells are very useful to measure the transmembrane flux of a substance across a mucosa and to study the effect of absorption enhancer on the membrane. So a well-defined area of mucosa from animal is clamped between the donor and the receiver compartment of each cell, and a known concentration of penetrate can be introduced into the one cell, that is donor, and its concentration is measured as a function of time in the other cell, that is in the receiver chamber. So this is the method which we apply to study in vitro mucosal permeation technique. Dear students, other than the method of evaluation, there are also certain methods that increases the buccal drug delivery, that are use of permeation enhancers. For example, we can use bile salt, surfactants, fatty acid, chelator or cyclodextrins that are combined with the polymers and co-delivered so that the drug can easily penetrate inside, or the polymer can easily permeate or retain on the surface. Then comes patch design. If we modify the patch design for the easy access of adhesion or for the easy access of drug inside the mucin layer. Then we can also use enzyme inhibitor, for example protease inhibitor such as aprotinin and bestatin etc. They have been used to stabilize peptide against buccal mucosal enzyme. These are very much important and find application when peptides and proteins are delivered. Next method is we can deliver the drug in the form of prodrug also, and vehicles that we can use are ethanol or propylene glycol. We also use these co-solvent or vehicles for increasing buccal drug delivery. So students, here we come to an end of our video on evaluation parameter of buccal dosage form. I hope you will like this video and find it interesting. Please keep conceptualizing the matter, study well, and thank you for watching our video. Stay at home, stay safe and study well. Thank you.